Okay.
Yeah, we're back again with football, and it's the World Cup qualifiers. And today we're going to be analyzing, discussing, and sieving all the important details between Nigeria and South Africa. With me to do that, Mr. Warif, Mr. Kule, Mr. Mustafa, and Said Afolabi. You're welcome to the show.
Okay, so this is a matchup between the Super Eagles and Bafana. Bafana are the fastest rising team in Africa. They're the African junior champions for Amajita, and they're going to the African Under 20 World Cup. And their senior team is doing very well. Made it to the semifinals, but lost to Nigeria because they decided to play low block against Nigeria because they were afraid of the Nigerian wing counterattack and speed. Um, Now South Africa is in commanding position for qualifying for the World Cup, but they may lose 3 points, and even if they don't lose 3 points for playing Mokoena against Lesotho, they can still qualify second in this group if they lose to Nigeria and they drop some points to the other small teams. But more importantly, the South Africans have been talking trash about Nigeria. Yes, we are ready. We're the best. I'm even hearing people say that South Africa will win the Under 20 World Cup, that they can beat France, they can beat everybody. So this is going to be a reality test. This match against Nigeria
South Africans.
a reality test for South Africa. Personally, I think South Africa can
Reality
win.
check.
What I mean by reality is if they don't win this game, they should shut up about being up on the rise. They need to win. They're playing at home. Where's the Suzuki Theater, whatever they want to call it? They're playing at home in front of all of the what they call it?
Vuvuzela. Vuvuzela.
They're going to be Nigeria's
Vuvuzela.
a hostile crowd. So personally,
Yeah.
I think they'll win, but I'll give my reasons later. But we
The
know that this
11th
match,
man advantage.
Nigeria has better forwards. They've got Moses. They've got probably one of the best left wingers in the
Osimhen.
world. No, the left winger.
Okay. I know.
Ademola Lookman. No, Lookman. Ademola Lookman.
Lookman is one of the best wingers in the world. Now we know that South Africa has Wane and Co. They've got a good forward line too. Nigeria has a creative forward line, but the question is, I think South Africa has a better coordinated midfield.
Nigeria has Wilfred and Didi.
Yeah, but the problem is that we're not coordinated in midfield. South Africa has a style of play, so I think they're going to have more possession than Nigeria. But Nigeria will be more explosive. Nigeria is more explosive, and will try to rely on their speed and explosiveness because they have absolutely no system. Nigeria's back four, rubbish. But the main question is, will South Africa's well-organized defense be able to shut down the danger of Nigeria? What I predict South Africa will do is what they did in the African Nations Cup. They're going to do low block, and they're going to make sure that they crowd the defense to make sure that Nigeria can't score on the threat. So they're going to try to push it. It's going to be a midfield battle, and I think whoever wins will win 1-0. It's hard to say. Now that I think of it, the main advantage is South Africa playing at home and they're more systematized. Nigeria is a bunch of superstars who don't play together, don't know each other. Our coach is rubbish. South Africa has a better coach than we do. They have a system that they understand. So we're basically going to come out there and be playing freestyle. So if not for that, we should be able to easily win 2-3-0. But because of that, it may be 0-0, and it may come down to one glorious moment, either through Osimhen or through Mokoena dazzling in the midfield and using Zwane and who's the other guy? There's another guy they have in forward. Put the thing up. I follow. I want to see South Africa's lineup. Let me see. Okay. I think there's another forward that they have, but I'm about to find it now. Let's see.
Is it Foster?
No. Let me see who it is. Mofokeng. Percy Tau. Those guys are deadly. Zwane, Mofokeng, Percy Tau. The problem is that those guys are very wingish type of players, sort of like with Liverpool, where you don't have a pure striker. Those guys, but they don't have a pure number 9. But those guys are dazzling. And if our midfield fails and allows these guys to penetrate, those guys are going to give our defense problem. But the problem is that Nigeria is more explosive on the counter, so maybe South Africa is going to play low. They're not going to play high, even with their wingers and stuff. They're going to have to bring their wingers back to the midfield. So it's a matchup. So I'm going to say 0-0. Maybe I'm going to say it's going to be 0-0. Maybe South Africa 1-0. Nigeria could even win 3-0 if they can break apart South Africa. But I think South Africa's too disciplined. What they'll do is they're going to prepare for Nigeria's attack. And the main question is, how prepared is Nigeria? What are your thoughts, Afolabi?
Yeah, I think I quite agree with you. South Africa, because they're leading that group and they have an advantage, they're going to sit in a
go back to the regular screen.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. They're going to sit in a low block and try and defend and play on the counter attack. Now, the onus is on Nigeria to ask all the relevant questions, press and attack them. If Nigeria can get an early goal, that will force the South Africans to come out of their shell. And then there will be gaps and spaces for Nigeria to exploit. I expect Nigeria to play balls into the wide channels. Samuel Chukwueze and Ademola Lookman. And if Victor Osimhen is around too, I expect a lot of balls from the midfield directly from either Ndidi or
Moses played too. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
and Alex Iwobi and Ndidi. I'm happy Ndidi is back. He will give them a base and a platform to be able to attack. You just sit in front of the back four, and then the likes of Alex Iwobi and Onyeka of Brentford will be able to push forward and supply the wingers with the much needed pass, to try and attack through the. I think our best route to scoring will be through Lookman and Chukwueze, through the flanks.
Basically. Yeah, wide flanks. The main thing they just have to make sure that they don't when they're trying to spring their attack, they don't make any mistakes and let South Africa make sort of the defense. But on paper, Nigeria has a much better team. When you got Ndidi, you've got Lookman, you've got Boniface, you've got what's it?
Brighton.
It's just too explosive in the front.
Alex Iwobi.
There's only one way South Africa can play these guys. They're going to have to play low block, and when they do that, that's going to affect their forwards. Their forwards will only get opportunities on the break. That's the only time they're going to get it. But we have to remember, South Africa has a fantastic midfield too. Nigeria's midfield is maybe better, but South Africa has more control in the midfield, and they've got Mokoena, who's a wizard.
Mokoena and Tembazwane.
Azwane. So it's going to be close. Now that I think about it, I think if this game was on a neutral pitch, Nigeria will win. Yeah. But they're going there. I don't know how prepared Nigeria is for this match. So I'm going to take 0-0 or 1-0 South Africa.
Yeah.
But if Nigeria wins 3-0 or something, I won't be surprised. Because you know how Nigeria is. We're a wild team. One day we can beat them. One day we can beat Spain with Victor Iquebuako.
When you least expect the spring surprise.
Argentina. Just like Nigeria is like Arsenal. You cannot predict them.
Yes,
they can win. I remember World Cup. What was it with Victor Iquebuako where they beat Spain?
98.
France 98. Or was it Portugal or Spain? They beat Spain.
Spain.
Then they lost to Denmark.
That we're talking of meeting Brazil that will beat them.
We're already looking at the Brazil match. All right, what are your thoughts, Kunle?
You're actually right, because Nigeria has the same number of Champions Leagues as Arsenal, but I digress. Yes. So the question is, whose piano is it? If Nigeria are able to get that rocky moment where they inspired themselves, and South Africa are finished, and they could even get humiliated. But invariably, Nigeria leaves us always wondering whether they are going to let us see the eye of the tiger. And more often than not, of late, they haven't. And I'm very worried that these South Africans want to steal their piano when I keep telling them that it's our piano. But we'll find out this weekend. I do believe Nigeria, yes, it's our piano now. Because Nigeria, if there's anybody that can win away games, it's Nigeria. Nigeria love going to other African countries and beating them on their home. Yeah. We love doing that. And in the past, up until the Okochas left, football, we loved beating Nigeria. And for many, many years, almost decades, they could never beat us in a competitive tournament. That has obviously starting to change. But the problem with South Africa is that even if they have a rocky moment, there's only so many teams they can beat with their rocky, because they don't have quite the depth of talent to get that far.
They're just
but they're good enough in Africa, but when exposed to the Brazils and Argentinas, they can't really, no rocky movie can save them. That's why
Nigeria beat South Africa on penalty, so we know South Africa is going to be well organized. They're going to play low block, and they're going to
exactly. That's the advantage that South Africa have. Is they
by
the
way, South Africa has a player named Ime Okon, so they hate Nigeria, but they put Nigeria on their football team.
So in order for South Africa to win, they need to maintain their discipline. They need to get the rocky moment, and they actually are capable of keeping their discipline. The crowd will be able to give them that eye of the tiger. Yeah. Now, if Nigeria are going to, Nigeria can beat them even if they have the eye of the tiger. And even if Nigeria are not fully on, they can beat them. But I think that the standard of the problem, I think, with Nigeria, because even with football, where players are much better, it's still margins. You can still see a team in the Premier League lose to a team in Division 3 because they're just as fit, just as fast, just as strong. You know, it's just that they're just a little bit more skillful than the other. And if a coach doesn't really know what he's doing, even if you have a better set of players, and if they're drilled by a better coach, they can overturn them. But definitely, Nigeria has better players. Whether they're a better team remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's going to be close. And the caliber of our players is too much. We have someone who's now playing. Where's he now? Where did he go to? He went to Napoli, right? Lukman. You got guys like that. You got Osimhen, who's probably the fourth best, maybe fifth best.
Lukman is still with that.
Oh, I thought he left.
The deal didn't go through.
No,
it didn't go through.
Even Victor Boniface couldn't seal his transfer to AC Milan.
But Boniface has an injury issue.
He failed his Boniface has gone to Werder Bremen now. I just saw it.
Okay, Boniface.
Okay, so let's get back on track.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mr. Warif, how do you see this game between South Africa and Nigeria?
Number one, let me start with our coach, the coaching crew. I don't so much believe in our coach. He's just like Mikel Arteta to me personally. I don't see him as a tactician because modern football, what wins game now is tactics. You might have the players, but how do you feature them? How do you use them? So if he can get the tactics right, study the South Africans. You know, the South Africans are used to themselves because of their local league. Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. So they are used to themselves. And again, if you weigh the South African coach and the Nigerian coach, I believe the South African coach is far better than the Nigerian coach. But what the battlefield, the battleground is on the field. So if the Nigerian coach can manage our players who are good at this, you know, just put the ball on the run. And he's strong, he's fast. He has the experience. He can deliver. Work on your midfield, your creative midfield, and your left back. Don't give the South African. They are trickish. They are like all this club in England, like Brighton, Fulham, and some other. If you take them for granted, they punish you. And again, one of that thing I like about Nigerian players is that they are big crowds, not like our local players. Because I know South Africans, one advantage they might have, according to Mr. Kunle, the 11th and 12th man, which is the crowd, and they might intimidate Nigerian players. So, what I would advise the Nigerian team that don't see any goal, can apply pressure and come down and play them. Because once you have Victor Osimhen in your team, what's it called? Adekma Lukman, what's this Igbo that plays the Chukwueze. You have Iwobi. You have our defensive midfielder, TD. And you have a goalkeeper and some of our defenders, I know, and what this guy that likes saying. We are good to go. We are good. Yes, like when he's playing in his club side. So they shouldn't panic. They should just remember, and the coach also, he should get his best game. It's like if you cannot do it, try and listen to the coaching crew and get the best from South Africans. They are beatable. But my only fear, like I said, they are used to themselves. They are calm. They just as if they're playing in their league because their league is well organized and they play together.
And they've beat Nigeria in the under-20, so we have to keep an eye on them. So what are your thoughts, Mr. Saeed?
Yeah, I quite agree with what Mr. said. My problem is with the coach. I don't know about his tactical powers. You can see the last game that we played, and we have the players. But now the issue is the kind of tactics the coach will use in that game. Our next match is against Bafana. We have to win that game by all means. That one is for sure. If we can win that one, we can now say, okay, we can probably drop with South Africa, or maybe if we're lucky, we can win that game. But the most important one, we have to win the Rwanda game, and the South Africa game, we should not know that, okay, we should go there. But if our wingers can actually supply ball to Osimhen I'm 100% sure that at least we can steal a win in that match. Are you getting my point? So now, is it going to be the kind of player that is going to and the kind of tactics is going to use that will favor our striker? That is where the problem lies.
I don't think he knows what he's doing. He didn't even use those guys. He didn't use Osimhen and all these guys in some of the World Cup qualifiers. He played around with the lineup. It's just that these guys just have to come together and play together. They're not prepared. I don't think they're prepared, but we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think. Okay, go on.
The players, like, they know how to find this game. So I think all of them want to go to the World Cup. So they know the kind of importance they should.
But they also have to beat South Africa. If they draw against South Africa, it's not for sure. They may not qualify for World Cup if they draw against South Africa, even if they beat the other team. Yeah, they have to beat South Africa.
Yeah. They need to beat South Africa.
Okay, what were you going to say, Kule, before we end with Afolabi?
Okay, you know, I actually forgot what I was going to say. Oh yes, I remember now. What I wanted to say was that when I say the Nigerian coach is no good, it's not that, oh, I've watched him or he's technically inept. I'm not going to judge his abilities, although his selections are questionable. The main reason why I'm dismissing this coach is because he lacks the ability to gain the respect of the players. And it's unfortunate. Yeah. Some of us can be very brilliant, can be very smart, but if you don't, if you don't have the respect of these players, they won't listen to you and they won't follow your instruction. So when you're looking for a coach, they need to be of a certain caliber, even if he's not a good coach. Just that he has a higher caliber, they'll try to follow your instruction.
Another big problem, though, is South Africa they're on one page. They're a developmental league for their league team. So, like, for example, they have young boys. They don't play in their league. They play in their developmental league for their league. Then their league, then the Belgium coach, then Belgium technicians. So they have a unified system like Barcelona and Barcelona, Spain. Everything is up and down. It's so scientific. Nigeria has nothing. All we have is Bako Super. We don't have any technical. It's not just about the coach.
It's corruption. It boils down to corruption.
Window. Yeah, we're going to play Toros.
So in other words, just like France, France has a system. Those guys know each other. They start playing on the streets in Paris. Then they play for PSG or for Toulon and all those teams. So they know each other, but there's no flow between the Nigerian players because a lot of Nigerian players go when they're young to different parts of Europe, and there's no combined. Yeah. That's the big issue. The only thing that we have
a style that was uniquely Nigerian.
But during West
lost it. We lost it after Bromfrey. No, even Bromfrey continued it. Then that French guy with one funny name comes in and he turns us into a 3-5-2.
Philip Trousier.
Yeah. Okay, the white witch. Philip Trousier.
Yes. After Bromfrey, we changed our system and we've never come back. And then also we like to play with a creative midfielder like South Africa. We don't produce those kind of players anymore.
Like Okocha and Co.
All right, so we don't produce Okochas and Kanus and Eti Masons anymore. And that is very sad because that was a hallmark. And that was because we used to grow up in those days, the influences of Pele used to inspire African players to play like that. But we don't have influences like that again. It was Pele's number 10 that inspired people like Okocha and Kanu.
Eti Mason.
All right, we have to go. So, but Afolabi, what are your last thoughts? Yeah.
We used to look at number 10, not number 9.
For me, 10. I think we need to start fast and very quickly. If we can get an early goal, silence the crowd in Bloemfontein, and put pressure on the South African team, then they have to come out. Then there'll be gaps for us to exploit and possibly win the game. I think Nigeria will win 2-1.
Maybe. I think it's possible. Okay, so any last thoughts, Mr. Warif? Then we're out of here. Yeah.
Like I said, everything boils down to the Nigerian coach. And Nigerian players, they should avoid hanging on the ball. Don't try to overdo to showcase yourself that you want to show skill. No, this is business football. That's one thing I like about Chelsea. Chelsea, they play business football. They're not there to entertain anybody. Go for the trophy. Go for your goal. That's it. So Nigerian players they should do that also.
Nigeria should be aggressive at the beginning. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you. I'll see you in 30 minutes.
All right.
Yeah. Those boys should take it seriously. Like they should know that without winning that game, they are not going to the World Cup, and they should mean business, not all this. And they shouldn't start Chukwueze. But I don't know why Chukwueze is not involved. He's not even playing regularly in AC Milan. I don't know why we keep bringing him when we have so many attacking players.
Chukwueze has the pace and he can dribble. He has the pace.
Okay.
So we have to
go. Yeah. Okay. All right. Whether it is
so we have to go because we have another
whether it is Chukwueze or Victor or Moses, I think we have to show passion, basically. And it's on that note that we're on this show. It's been a wonderful show. I've been discussing our own dear Super Eagles and the Bafana. And from Mustafa, Warif, Said, and Kule, we'll be back again next time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.